Hi guys, in this video I'll be doing a quick flip through of this Classical Quills 1 and Classical Quills 2 by Eileen Cunningham. I found these as I was doing some research on classical writing, and if you would like to find out a little bit about like why and more about that, you can check out the video linked above. However, I just want to focus more on the flip through in this video. She does have a Writing the Classical Way series as well, Ancient, Modern and Medieval, that are recommended for 7th, 8th, and then 9th, 10th grades respectively. This one is recommended for 5th to 6th. So from 5th all the way through to 9/10th grade. Alright, there are also the student books as well. And for price reference, the Quills books range between $25 and $30 each. And her Writing the Classical Way books range between $32 and $40 each. Alright, so I'll first go through the Quills 1. Alright, so in this Quills 1 book, this is your table of contents, sorry. Now, this is heavily Christian centered, so that is something to take into consideration. The difference between this and the classical rhetoric through structure and style is that this one really does teach them all of the different exercises within Progymnastica, even though it's combined in one book. And as they go through from Quills 1 all the way through to her Writing the Classical Way level 3, they are going to be basically following the same format, but the actual excerpts that they're going to be using to teach each of the exercises within Progym is going to get a little bit more complex as they go through, right? And as I share this flip through, hopefully you can see if the style of writing or the stories would be interesting to you, because that will just be the thing to decide if it will be something that will work for you, right? Whereas the classical rhetoric through structure and style is assuming that they already understand Progymnastica, but they are working through some exercises using that Progym system at a high school level. So anyway, so this is your table of contents. Then you have the first exercise where they look at a fable. Then they're going to go through some definition and purpose of fables or parables. As parables, sorry, as I said, it is heavily Christian centered. They're looking at characteristics of fables and parables. Then they're going to have some think it through sections with some questions as well. After that, they are going to attempt writing their own fable, and it kind of gives them some prompts on how it is to go about doing that. But not only does it have that, they have a planning sheet so that it's really holding their hands and trying to she's trying to walk them through as they attempt to write a fable of their own. Then it has an expanded fable where she explains how sometimes writers will expand on a familiar fable, so they get some insight into that, and also some questions on that topic so that they can dive deeper into that topic, together with an example followed by some questions. Again, another example of an expanded fable. All right, and that's basically the setup, and again you have a planning sheet for that. So they're going to be going through the different writing exercises that exist within the Progym classical style of writing, and as they go through, they're going to have several exercises to teach them, you know, how it is to apply that stage of Progymnastica. So it's just up to you to see if the style of writing is something that will work for you. See here, it's dealing with reputation. And it's basically the same setup from the beginning to the end. It's just a different exercise within ProGymnastica or that ProGym system. And at the back, she has an outline of books 1 and 2 side by side, showing what you can expect in each book for each exercise within the ProGym system. I'll just show you that a little bit closer. And that outline is given for all of the different exercises, and that is followed by a rubrics so that you can mark the child's work. She shows you different traits to look for, the range of marks that can be assigned, and expectations to kind of look for to allow the child to be able to to get those marks. All right, that is Quills 1. All right, so I just wanted to show the student edition next to the teacher edition so that you can see the slight differences. Now, the front part of the book with the history and all of that, it is exactly the same in both books. This is the student edition, this is the teacher's edition. So as you can see, it's basically the same thing. Well, it is the same thing. When you flip the page, however, you see the slight differences. In the teacher's edition, the suggested answers, they are in cursive. So I'm just putting that close up so you can see if that's, you can understand that easily. And in the student edition, they leave a space for the child to write their answers. Now, I would say that if it is you have, but in my case, my child who I intend to use this with, she tends to work better with clear directions. Otherwise, it could be a little bit stressful. But I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but that is something that I noticed. So, I just wanted to point that out. So turn into the next page. Same thing. All the teacher suggested answers in cursive. And there are spaces for the child to write, and the space amount is varied. I guess if it is they think that the answer might be a little bit longer. Now, a lot of times workbooks, quite honestly, don't necessarily always have like a lot of space, and they may have to add like extra sheets of paper if necessary. I know that that's the case with the writing rhetoric. Like if it is they have something and they wanted for some reason to write a lot more, depending on how much the child enjoys writing, they would have to add like an extra sheet of paper. Not a lot, but it has happened before. So I don't know if that's going to cause a problem. I guess I will see in the end. And Quills 2 is very similar to Quills 1. It's just that it's going to be a little bit more advanced. So I'm trying to get to the table of contents. Again, heavily Christian-centered. Going through all of the different exercises within ProGym. Again, they start with a fable. Definition and purpose of a fable. Same system like classical Quills 1. This one is just recommended for 6th grade. Characteristics of fable and the parable. They work through some think it through and exercises. Then they look at trying to attempt writing their own fable, and they are given a planning sheet to help them with that. Then it looks at an expanded fable where they discuss and go through a similar fable that was expanded, and they work through some exercises with an example of an expanded fable that is similar to the original fable used here, and they work through some exercises on that. They then attempt their own expanded fable with a planning sheet given to them. They continue by working through the other exercises within the ProGym writing style. It's just that the exercises would be a little bit more challenging in this book And similar, you have the synopsis at the back that outlines book 1 and 2 side by side and what it is you can expect for each exercise within ProGym. So that is the same in both books, followed by the rubrics at the back that helps you to mark your child's work. Now a lot of the marking scheme to the back is pretty similar to what it is you would see in Quills 1, with just a little bit more expectation in certain areas in the Quills 2. All right, so it's a very similar setup. All right, so hopefully that flip through was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them below. But in the next video, I will be doing a flip through of her writing the classical way, levels 1, 2, and 3 that is recommended for grades 7, 8, and then 9/10th grade. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you in another video. Bye.